Hello everybody, I am Mr. Saturday and welcome to another year of Stardew Valley, but I can only sell once a year. This is year 4 out of the series where I as a noob decided to challenge myself on my first playthrough with this, and it has gone pretty cool so far. Now we are on the last day of winter where I pretty much gather up everything that we have collected throughout the year, put it inside that box and sell it for as much profit as we can. Now, last year I made $2,544,077. This year, I kind of want to make more than that. I'm hoping for at least $4 million. That is my goal. Now, I was going to shoot this in the days, like I've been doing for the past couple of episodes, but my old PC died and I lost all the footage throughout the year. Luckily, Steam saved the actual save itself. So we're on my new PC that has none of the footage, so we're just here chilling at the end of the year, ready to sell. This is the main selling chest. This is where all the artisan goods and like tea and stuff has went. I have made the tea farm bigger. We have plenty of tea to sell from the tea empire. This is the forageables. I didn't collect as many forageables this year, or at least when it comes to the fishing for forageables, because I also didn't fish much this year. At the same time, mining, I did do a decent amount of mining. I didn't bust the geodes open like I normally do, but we do have a ton of just those, and I've used a lot of the iron and copper bars that we had, but I've done a lot of that mining as well. Got some iridium, but we also turned in a diamond to the grandpa shrine to get a new rating, and we ended up with a 4-star rating. So I'll be showing that off in spring when everything looks a little bit better and we can see it better. So I'm going to go ahead and sell all of this to see how much we get. And there we go. We almost made 6 million in profit. We are right there at just making 6 million for the year. That is a crazy amount. I think a lot of this came from just the absurd amount of jellies that we created, but we had 200 starfruit wine, which was like 630,000 by itself. We had a stack of ancient fruit wine, which was like 2 million by itself. That's pretty crazy. And then we had like another little bit of ancient fruit wine that was almost another million. We sold a decent amount of mayonnaises for 45,000, but the big contributor, we got to see right here, all of this tea. We sold about 300, maybe like 300,000 or a little over 300,000 worth of tea leaves, which is crazy. And just some other random bits and bobs, like I have myself a void chicken, which I'll show off in a bit. They gave me quite a few void eggs and void mayonnaises and stuff like that. Only 1 gold, no iridium void eggs yet, so we'll see if that guy gets a little bit happier. He is a bit of a newer chicken, but yeah, that is absurd. Foraging, made a decent amount. Ton of purple and red mushrooms, which is pretty good. Fishing, not so much. Didn't do a lot of fishing this year. Mining, pretty good bit. We had a pretty good bit of diamonds and stuff put in there, and rubies, which helped out a lot. You know, diamonds were 11,000 of that. 4,000 from aquamarines, which wasn't too bad. Others, I'm assuming. Okay, so dino eggs are worth a lot. I was wondering about that. So we have a pretty good bit in dino eggs, and then just random extra treasures that I found while mining and stuff. So not too bad, not too bad. And here we are back in the house. Now I did decorate the house a little bit this year, not too much. I was planning on creating like my own museum in this one bit, but I don't know how long that will stay. I decorated the walls and floors a little bit. I ended up getting a second child from Leah, which is pretty cool. His name is Baja Blast. Then I did this little living room idea. I'm thinking I'm going to do more of the house like this instead of like the museum. I might do the museum somewhere else, like a shed or something. But this ended up being pretty cool. And I haven't really touched this room yet, mainly because you can't move the crib wherever you want it. I guess it's just there until you stop having kids. Big noticeable difference of the farm is that there is an absolute ton of kegs now. I spent this whole past year making a stupid amount of kegs. which is all over this part of the farm. And on top of that, we made a lot of the jelly jars. They're all over, like down here to the side, and just right here in the front and on this side. The tea empire did expand. I didn't get to take a full advantage of it, unfortunately, but we have the tea that's up at the top right here. We have all of this tea. We have the tea that's over here, and we have it pretty much going all the way down to about right almost there right here. So we ended up filling up a pretty good bit. Now I did a lot of this section in the winter, so I didn't get to use, I think, these 2 rows downwards. I'm pretty sure it was like these 2 rows down were planted at like the end of fall, beginning winter, so I really didn't get to use them. But the rest of these I got to use. This is some of the new update stuff for the farm. I'm not too familiar with all the new update stuff. I haven't even been to Ginger Island, so I haven't been part of that update yet. But I did get to play around with this a little bit, and this is where I got a lot of the purple mushrooms and some of the red ones, I think. Sometimes it spawns red. I think this is where I got the red mushrooms. Up here, still nothing much with this. I got to clear it out because it's spring, but I did use it to grow a whole extra batch of star fruit and ancient fruit when it was time. So this worked out pretty good. This is the only place on the beach farm you can actually place sprinklers, which is kind of rough, but it does work out to get that extra little batch for wine making and jelly making. In the greenhouse hasn't changed too much other than it's completely ancient fruit now to give me better chances at getting that wine made, which it looks like it's ready to harvest. And that's actually pretty much it. Now, when it comes to the stats, I did find the extra stats in the Grandpa Shrine. I think I have all of them, but combat? No, I have combats. I think it's... We'll have to go check. I have all of them but one of them, but I have combats, I have fishing, I am pretty sure I have farmings and foraging. I might not have mining, that's probably it. I don't have mining. When it comes to relationships, I do have quite a few more relationships up, but not all of the villagers like me. We have all of the maxed out ones right here. Pam was at 4 hearts. I spent 500,000 to get her house, but she caught me digging in the trash can, so one of her hearts went down. And then I did a little bit on Penny and Maru, but I didn't focus them too much. Hopefully for year 5, I actually do some work towards that and unlock all the recipes. This shed is pretty much the same. It is filled with tea. This is the only tea I get in the winter. I'm missing a pot up there. And yeah, that is pretty much it with the farm. This is all I've done to it was make the tea empire bigger. You know, I'm giving out more tea bags than Master Chief when it comes to this stuff. So hopefully we can expand it a little more. I kind of wish I did this method down here for the whole tea farm. I wasn't thinking about that you could plant, you know, 2x2s, right? And then have a row. That would probably fit a lot more tea on here. So if I can get my tea saplings back, I would do that. And there's a lot of places that you can't place the tea, especially in this spot right here. These are like areas you can't put them. You can put like a flower pot there and then put a tea, but it just looks really weird. So I don't do it. I rather just fill it in with this stuff. Maybe we'll put other decorations and stuff there. So next year will definitely be a day-by-day type of video. Unfortunately, I couldn't do that for this one. But with the new PC, I shouldn't have that problem for year 6, and we'll be able to experience the whole thing together. If you have any suggestions or tips and tricks that you would like to share them down in the comments. If you want to see what the rest of the years were like, go check out the other ones. They were pretty fun. Unfortunately, this is all I have time for in today's episode. I will see all of you in the next one. Bye!